Hey everyone, Trish Charleston here, also known as the Cowboy's wife, and I'm coming to you from the metropolis of Reeds, Missouri, where the rooster is crowing, the cows are mooing, the horses are pawing, and the dogs are barking. We won't even talk about the cats. I wear many hats here at K&T Cattle Company. I'm a wife, mom, gaga, rancher, former paralegal, author, blogger, and I'm a Jesus freak. And with all those things, a myriad of others just trickle in. If you have children or a farm, you know exactly what I mean. One minute you're mucking stalls or a dirty diaper, and the next you might be putting an IV in a tiny weenie dog. Here's the deal, folks. I'm no expert on anything except being alive for 56 years. I've gone through the good, the bad, and even some really ugly. I'm doing this podcast because I believe it's my calling, and my friend Bob Goff says to let faith guide your steps. Without my faith, I'm not sure I could get out of bed each morning. I want you to have a place to come, listen, laugh, and relate. People need people, and I want to connect with you. If you don't already know it, I want you to know that Jesus loves you very much, just the way you are, and I hope that maybe you might learn something from my mistakes and my triumphs that might help you on your own walk. This is a day in the life of the Cowboy's wife, and I hope to brighten this day in yours. Hey everyone, Trish Charleston here. Sorry I'm wearing the same outfit twice, but Jordan Joe's making me do 2 podcasts at a time, so I'm caught up. And I'm too lazy to change, so call me a sloth. That's how I'm going to be today. Today I'm going to talk about loving yourself the way that you are and loving the skin that you're in. Yesterday I went to the dentist because I told you before, I've been grinding my teeth, and so they sent me to this orthodontist to see if maybe my teeth were misaligned, and so that I might need braces, and that might help me with my bite, and then I'm not grinding my teeth all night and blah blah blah. But anyway, my teeth are fine. I don't need to spend $6,300 for Invisalign because it's not going to make me stop grinding my teeth. The only thing that's going to make me stop doing that is to perhaps quit doing these podcasts. But anyway, I I noticed when I was there, everyone was smiling. It's a dentist office. It's an orthodontist. They're selling your smile. And so it was so refreshing, but also a little bit kind of terrifying because I mean, that I'm talking that everyone's greeting you, and it's great because that's how we should be all the time. But seriously, it got to the point that I was like looking around like, are they talking to me? Are they smiling at me? I mean, it was almost so much that it was off-putting, and it was comical because it's great. But like every room you went in, there was a sign that says smile. And so I think it was reminding them too. I mean, this woman I walked by, she's walking at her desk and working at her desk, and she's literally, the second I walk by, she's just the biggest, wonderful smile. Of course, they all have fabulous teeth because they work at an orthodontist, but it was just funny. And so then they put me in the chair, they make me take these pictures. Oh my gosh. And then they put them on this giant board in front of you. So it's not only is it your face, really close and personal, but it's also your teeth and a skeleton. You can see what you look like dead basically because it's just your skull and your teeth. And my teeth are jacked up. I mean, I still have, like, I never got some of my big teeth, which the guy told me yesterday is not true. And my dentist has been telling me that for all of my years that I've been alive, that my baby teeth never came out and I still have baby teeth. And he said, no, that's just not true. You just didn't get wisdom teeth. And that just means you're lucky. And so now I'm feeling pretty good about myself. So that was helpful. But the whole time I was looking at this picture of my face, just bigger than life on the screen, I was just mortified and judging myself. And I was just like, oh my God. And my hair's thin. I had my hair up in a ponytail and it looked like a Q-tip, sticking out of my head because it's so thin. And oh my gosh, my jaw, I need my face, I need a facelift. It was, and all I could think about was how I'm just sitting there judging myself. Well, last, back in, I think February, time has gone so fast. Maybe it was way back last year. I don't know. But anyway, Emma and I were driving and traveling. We were rodeoing, and she's always doing these products on her face. She bought me this thing to sleep in that's supposed to lift your chin up. And she's always making these herbs and growing crap to put on her face. And it's just the funniest thing because now she's got me all freaked out about it. And she got to talking about Botox. I'm like, you're 26 years old and stunning, knock it off. I mean, I never thought about such things when I was these kids' age. I can't understand why anybody under 50 would even consider sticking a needle in your face. That's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Girls, you are beautiful. So knock it off. I just don't want to hear about this craziness anymore. But she got to talking about it so much that I started getting kind of freaked out about my face. And then one day we were outside and Kevin walks by and he goes, "Hey, you got some dirt on your face?" I'm like, "No, that is just my face." And he was going, "Oh my gosh, I would have never said anything if I just, but I'm starting to get some age spots and some dark spots and it's just not great." And so the more she talked about it, the more I thought, man, I need to call somebody and I need to research this deal and maybe think about doing some Botox or thinking about doing something. I got to do something. And so I made this appointment. And the next thing I know, I thought it was just going to be a consultation. The next thing I know, I got needles in my face, all over my face. And it wasn't pleasant, but it wasn't as horrible as I thought it would be. It wasn't great. But anyway, I ended up having a lot of bruising and it took weeks for it to go away. And my eyebrow was kind of stuck up for a while. And we go to this, the Cowboy prom one night, and my husband never says a word. I mean, the man is a statue most of the time in those typical in those types of settings. He's very quiet. He doesn't. And these gals around the table, and a lot of them were family members, but some of them I didn't even know. And I hadn't told anybody except my immediate family that I'd had this procedure. In fact, when they'd come over for Easter, my son-in-law said, "Trish, you've got some dye on your face." I said, "No, honey, that's a bruise." And he said, "Oh my gosh, what did you do?" And I said, "Well, I fell face first on some needles." And so anyway, so everybody's been trying to wash this bruise off my face for a couple of weeks and it was bad. I looked like a Hitler for a while because it looked like I had this tiny mustache. I mean, it was just bad. Anyway, so they're talking about Botox, and Kevin chimes in. And I mean, if you could have seen the look on my face, I thought I was going to physically die. He said, and he was doing it out of genuine concern for everyone else except me. And he says, hey, if you guys are going to do that, listen, be careful. Trish was bruised for a really long time, and then her eyebrow was sticking straight up like this for a while. And he's literally like lifting his eyebrow, and my mouth is dropped to the floor because he is still talking. And I mean, I am giving him this death stare. And we get in the car, and we had his mom with us, and so I couldn't say anything for the longest time. And finally, when we drop her off, I'm like, "Are you serious right now? Did you just announce to the entire table that I had Botox? I mean, I'm gonna kill you." and and now, if you even say the word, he will lift one eyebrow. It's really funny now, but boy, I was freaking mad then, I'll tell you. But my whole point of this is that we are all so judgmental of ourselves, and I didn't realize how bad it was until last weekend at church. We had this They showed this video, and I think it was maybe a Dove commercial or something, but they had this forensic artist come in and they would sketch women, and they had them describe themselves, and the guy couldn't see them at all. Of course, there was a curtain and he had his back to the women also. And he'd say, "Just describe yourself to me." And so they would each describe themselves. And then they had to go out in a room and hang out with a bunch of people. And then they would have another person come in and describe the person that they just met outside. Can you tell me what she looks like? And so, those forensics artists, that's what they do. When you're describing a, a criminal or whatever, somebody you saw or somebody you're looking for, a suspect or whatever, that they're just doing it from what these people see. Well, then they brought the women back and let them see the pictures of the ones that they described themselves and the one that the other people described them. And every single time, the one that they described of themselves was hideous compared to the person that other people see. And it made me cry. I mean, me and my 4 friend Carol sat next to me. We sob at the drop of a hat, and I mean it. But we do that. We are so self-conscious about everything. We only see our flaws, and I got to thinking about how sad that must make God feel, because we are all his masterpieces. I mean, he literally created every one of us individually on purpose, and we just want to just tattoo ourselves up and not take care of ourselves, and cover it up with makeup, and try to fix this and fix that, and all we ever see is the bad, and we never see the beautiful in ourselves. And I saw this commercial or this video on Sunday, and on Monday I'm sitting in that dental chair ripping myself a new one, and I thought, did you learn nothing? But I didn't. I even think I have one eye that's smaller than the other, if you want to be real honest. So it's not an easy thing to do, but I want us to learn to love the skin that we're in. And I know people that do, and they are so fun to be around. My sister-in-law was the queen of this. It didn't matter if she weighed 50 pounds too much or 50 pounds too small. She was just happy and loving the skin that she was in. And of course it could have also been the alcohol, but it was fun to be around her because she was always so comfortable in her own skin. And Quincy is that my oldest daughter is that way. Quincy, even though, when you're pregnant and stuff, that's different. And you obviously go through a rash of hormones and crazy weight gain and weight loss and all the things that go along with having babies. But Quincy has always been a stunningly beautiful woman. And she never was never conceited about it. She never thought about it. She knows. I mean, if you're attractive because of the way people treat you. I literally watched a guy one night try to climb over his wife to look at my daughter, and it was disturbing. And then you see that with your children, and you see it, you do it in a crowd of people, and you see the people that get lots of attention because they're beautiful. People are drawn to beauty. I mean, God made beautiful things for a reason. I mean, it's for your, enjoyment, for you to see the flowers and the sky and the trees, and people are all beautiful in their own way. But the way that you carry yourself, and the way that you talk, and the way that you speak to others, and all of those things, which is something that my daughter's always been really, really good at. So not only was she beautiful on the outside, she's even more stunningly beautiful on the inside, and it just resonates from her. So people are drawn to that. But we all need to practice loving ourselves. We are made by God himself, and I feel like we're doing him a disservice when we are tearing ourselves down all the time. And I'm telling you, I'm the most guilty party here. I'm great at it because currently all I see are these big indentions in my face. But let's all try to see ourselves in a different light and see the way that God sees us. And I think when we start loving ourselves, it's a lot easier to love others. So that's what I got for you today. Have a great one.